Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of English Podcast Chill. I'm Lucas, your host for today's episode, and I'm really excited to dive into today's topic. If you're new here, this podcast is all about helping you improve your English through relaxed, easy conversations. And if you're a returning listener, welcome back. We're so happy to have you with us again.
Hi, I'm Aria, and I'm thrilled to be here today. I've been on the show before, but for those of you who don't know me, I'm here to share my thoughts and insights as we chat about today's topic. I hope you're ready for a fun and relaxed conversation.
Today's episode is going to be all about morning routines, how we start our days, the habits we follow, and why a good morning routine is so important for setting the tone for the day. We'll be discussing everything from the first thing we do when we wake up to the rituals we follow to feel energized and ready to take on the world. I'm really looking forward to hearing Aria's thoughts on this, as I know she's got some good insights to share.
I'm excited to be talking about it too. Morning routines are such a personal thing, and I think it's fascinating how each of us has different ways of starting the day. But I also think it's something we can all relate to, right? Everyone has their own version of a good start.
So, let's jump right into it. We're going to break down the different components of a morning routine. We'll explore questions like, what's the first thing you do when you wake up? Do you have any special habits or rituals? How important is it to set the right tone for your day? And, of course, we'll be talking about how a morning routine can affect your productivity, mood, and overall well-being.
Exactly. For me, I know that if I skip my morning routine or rush through it, I don't feel as focused or ready for the day. But when I take the time to start my day with intention, I feel much better throughout the day. So, we'll also discuss some tips for building a morning routine that works for you. Let's get started.
All right, so let's begin with something simple. What's the first thing you do when you wake up, Aria?
Well, for me, the first thing I do is turn off my alarm, of course. But right after that, I usually take a few moments to just lay there and think about my day. I'm not checking my phone immediately or jumping out of bed. I try to focus on my breath for a few seconds and set an intention for the day. It's kind of like a mental reset before I start moving.
That sounds really peaceful. I think that's such a nice way to start the day. I'm guilty of checking my phone the second I wake up, and sometimes I feel like it sets a rushed tone for the day. So, what's next for you after you've had that quiet moment?
After that, I usually get up and stretch for a few minutes. Stretching is a big part of my routine because it wakes up my body and gets my energy flowing. I try to do a few yoga poses or even just simple stretches. Then, I head to the kitchen and make myself some coffee. I love that ritual, making the coffee, smelling it, and sitting down for a few minutes to enjoy it. It's like a little moment of calm before the chaos of the day begins.
Oh, yes, coffee. I think a lot of people can relate to that. It's almost like a comforting ritual for many of us. For me, I like to get up, wash my face, and drink a glass of water right away. Hydration is really important to me, and I feel like it helps me feel awake and refreshed. Then, I'll spend some time journaling for a few minutes.
Oh, I love that. Journaling is something I've been meaning to try more often. Do you write down your thoughts? Or do you have a specific prompt you follow?
I mainly write down whatever comes to mind, just to clear my head and start the day with a clean slate. I find it helps me feel more focused and organized. But I also have a few positive affirmations that I like to write down sometimes to set a positive tone for the day.
I think starting the day with positivity is so important. And speaking of that, I've heard a lot of people talk about the benefits of mindfulness or meditation in the morning. Have you ever tried that?
Yes, I've tried meditation a few times. I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I think it definitely helps me feel grounded. I usually just do it for 5 to 10 minutes, either before or after my journaling, depending on how much time I have. It's not always easy, but I do notice a difference when I make time for it. How about you?
I've been doing more mindfulness lately, especially since I've started reading about how powerful it is to start the day with intention. So, I've been experimenting with a little guided meditation every morning. It's a nice way to focus my mind and prepare myself mentally for whatever the day holds.
That sounds awesome. So, in terms of your routine, do you do anything in particular to get your energy going? Any exercise or anything like that?
I try to get moving a little bit. I'm not someone who loves intense exercise first thing in the morning, but I'll do some light stretching or take a walk if I can. Fresh air always helps me feel awake. But I think the most important part of my morning routine is just giving myself enough time to ease into the day. I'm not a fan of rushing, so I make sure I wake up early enough to enjoy these little moments before I start working.
I totally get that. Rushing in the morning can make everything feel chaotic, right? I think giving yourself that space and time to move at your own pace can really make a difference. For me, I also try to limit distractions. I don't like checking emails or social media until I've had my morning routine, because I find that it can really derail my focus.
Yes, that's such a good point. I think we often underestimate how much mental energy it takes to process things like emails or social media in the morning. By the time we start our workday, we're already overwhelmed, and we haven't even started our tasks yet.
So, today we've discussed a lot about what makes up a morning routine. Here are some key takeaways from our conversation. Setting a positive tone for the day can make a huge difference in how we feel throughout the day. Starting the day with intention, whether through mindfulness, journaling, or stretching, helps us feel more focused and energized. Giving ourselves enough time in the morning to move at our own pace can help avoid that rushed feeling. Limiting distractions, like social media and emails, in the morning can really help maintain focus and energy.
And let's not forget how important it is to find what works for you. Everyone's routine is different, and it's okay if you don't follow a perfect routine. What matters is finding habits that help you feel ready to take on the day.
Thank you all so much for listening to this episode of English Podcast Chill. We hope you enjoyed our discussion about morning routines and got some inspiration to improve your own routine.
Yes, thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow us on your favorite podcast platform and subscribe so you never miss an episode. We'd love to hear about your morning routines too, so feel free to share your thoughts with us.
Thanks again, everyone. We'll catch you next time with another fun conversation. Have a wonderful morning, and don't forget to start your day with intention.
Take care, and enjoy your day ahead.